Trevor Lawrence just got a massive contract, but is he really worth it? We're going to compare Trevor Lawrence and Blake Bortles in today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You can catch us at buffet.sports. I'm Devin. That's Zane. It's Buffet Sports. All you can eat. Let's jump into the video.
Dickhead.
Yeah, okay, good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Dropping heat like every season. Underdog like Willie Beeman. Classic like Dom singing. Blasting like bombs ringing.
From the tier list, we talked about Trevor Lawrence. Now we're going to talk about him a little more. We all know that he got a huge contract recently. So what we have up on the screen here is Trevor Lawrence's first 50 career starts versus Blake Bortles' first 50 career starts. And the numbers don't support Trevor Lawrence getting this massive contract, and it makes you wonder why Blake Bortles isn't in the league anymore. Is he doing construction still? Is that what he's doing now?
Construction? What are you talking about?
Yeah, bro was like, they asked him, like, what would you be doing if you were in the NFL? And he's like, construction.
What would you do if you weren't playing football?
If I wasn't playing football, working construction, ripping cigs.
And he's
No,
like,
I think he's doing fine. I remember he had an
I'm sure he's
interview-
doing fine, but like, he seems like the kind of guy that just be like, yeah, I'll do construction, whatever. I'll run my
Yeah,
dad's
if he-
construction business.
I mean, if he wanted to do it, he can do it. But I'm sure he made plenty of money. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's
So-
like a Kirk Cousins. He made a shit ton of money.
Sure. Okay. So then, okay, let's look at the stats themselves. Let's compare them. So going down the line here, Trevor Lawrence in the first 50 career starts, 11,770 passing yards. Blake Bortles, 11,845 passes to touchdown passes to interceptions. Trevor Lawrence, 58 to 39. Blake Bortles, 74 to 53. The touchdown passes to interception rate, what that math comes out to is 1.5 to 1.4. And then yards per attempt, 6.7 to 6.5. So what this really says to me is that advanced stats were not as big, obviously, when Blake Bortles was playing.
Yeah.
Because by this logic, with how much last year too, hyped up Trevor Lawrence and how he was the number one overall pick and everything, by this logic, Blake Bortles should be in the league still. And it makes you wonder when you really look at some of those guys in the in-between years where they got kind of tossed out because of bad coaching situations, because they were in a tough division. How many of those guys should still be in the league that are better than some of these guys that are starting this year?
Yeah,
To me,
I agree
looking at
100%.
this,
I thought
to-
you were going to try and say that Blake Bortles is better than Trevor Lawrence, and that I would disagree with you because the stats are very similar, so it's not like we can say Blake Bortles is better, but I do agree with you in the point that it is like, why is Blake Bortles not in the league, especially if you're looking at these stats to where
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence just got paid a massive
Well, and
contract.
and the contract for me, that's the
Yeah,
thing, because
yeah,
Blake
100%.
Bortles is out of the league. Trevor Lawrence just got a 5-year extension that's insanity.
Yeah. He got paid. He got
What
paid
is he,
like
third? Is he
like-
third now in the NFL?
You want me to look it up? I can look
I'll
it up.
look it up, but
You can look it up.
let's see. Yeah, I want to say he's third now.
Yeah, it's definitely a little weird, but it's also he could be pulling an Andrew Luck for all we know. Maybe he just doesn't have his heart in it anymore. He doesn't want to be in the league anymore. But it is very weird.
I don't think it's that. I think it's Trevor being a little bit overhyped.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is,
He's tied for one. Trevor Lawrence is tied for one at 55 with Joe.
and that's insane. That's insane.
And
because-
then 3 is Jared Goff, dude. And then 4 is Justin Herbert. Holy Moses.
wow.
And then the 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson is 5.
Hey boys, get your money. Get your money up. Not your funny up. I support you all getting your money for sure. But I think with the Lamar thing, it was because he did his contract a little bit earlier than everybody else. I bet you if he got a contract this year, it'd be insane for sure.
Well, the other thing for me is like the Joe money to me is number one, really surprising because it's Cincinnati. 2,
The
it
Joe
really
money
makes
makes sense to me because like he's been to the Super Bowl.
Sure. No, I'm surprised because it's Cincinnati, because they're
Yeah.
so cheap. That's why I'm surprised with that one. The Trevor Lawrence one is surprising to me, obviously, as
That's
we're talking about
insane.
it.
That's
Jared
insane. He
Goff
hasn't
is,
proved himself at all.
I think the only reason you can afford that with Jared Goff is how young the rest of the team is. I
And I
think
don't
that's
know
really
why you
it.
would pay Jared Goff that kind of money.
I don't think he's worth the 53. I just think they're young. He's young enough, or the team is young enough around him to where you can give him that kind of money.
I I want to say the reason why Jared Goff. By the way, Jared Goff, get your bread. Not hating on how
All
much
these
money you
guys,
make for
get your
sure.
bag. Top three,
Get your bag. Hey,
top four paid quarterbacks in the league, white men.
okay. I'm not trying. I was not clapping for that. I was not clapping for that. Jesus.
I'm gonna cut that together.
Jeez, I was not clapping for that. What I was saying is that I think the reason why Jared Goff got paid such a big contract that he did is just the culture that is in Detroit. That's the type of culture that they are. They're trying to show all of these star players, all of these guys that come into the league, hey, if you come with us, we're going to take care of you no matter what. Because if you look
if
at
you come with us,
if you come at the same time that we do, and we both come, and then after that we go to a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl, we're gonna take care of you.
I mean,
I
that's what
think
this comes down to.
it comes down to coming at the same time.
It makes it makes Deshaun Watson's deal look a lot better.
No, I still don't agree with that. I think that was crazy. Didn't
But
he take?
But he's
He
8
didn't
now.
play. He didn't play for like a year, right? Because of his whole
Yeah,
ordeal,
but they
and
didn't
then he
pay
got
him.
signed to that.
But they didn't really pay him during that year. They paid him like $500,000. I mean, it's still crazy in
Yeah,
real
but
world
then he
money.
got signed to that
But
after that. Like,
no, he
I
got
don't know.
signed to the big deal. He got signed to the big deal, but they structured it to where that first year where he was going to be suspended, he
Yeah.
was only going to make like 500,000.
But didn't he not play the year before?
But that's when he was still on the Texans.
Yeah, on the Texans, did he not play for that year?
Yeah, but they didn't give him the deal. The Browns did.
But that's like the point I'm making is that he didn't play for an entire year, and then they gave him this ginormous deal.
Well, but
after
it's
an
the
entire
Browns.
year of not playing.
But it's the Browns. I don't know. I'm just saying the 46 million looks a whole lot better now with those guys in front of him.
Yeah, I don't know what the thought process is.
Kyler Murray's ahead of him.
Do you know what
I
the
didn't-
thought
I didn't-
process is?
What with Deshaun?
Not with Deshaun and Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff. Like I
Jared
would say
Goff,
that
I think it's just this is the farthest we've gotten. We're gonna pay him and keep him. I think with Trevor Lawrence, it's just they've got the money and they don't want him to go because they're not gonna get another guy. And then with Deshaun Watson, it was just they thought they were getting something that they weren't.
for me,
I think it's as simple as that.
maybe my Brock Purdy take was wrong because I thought that like when you look at these quarterbacks, the guys who have a great system like Jared Goff, I would feel like they would just try and get a young quarterback to rise with this young team. But it seems to not go that way. And I mean,
Well, if you've got a piece but that's the thing, if you've got a piece that works in the case of Jared Goff, where he may not be like an elite quarterback, but you've got a piece that just works, then you just pay him. Like you just pay him to stay. If it works, it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality. And I think like
great saying. Did you come up with that yourself?
No. Yeah, like after that, we've got Kirk tied with Patrick Mahomes at 9, which is crazy.
Hey,
And then-
they got a steal for Patrick Mahomes. That's all.
And
I'm
then
saying.
11 is Josh Allen.
When is his contract run up?
I don't know off the top of my head. A couple more years. But with Patrick though, he made this deal. They did this on purpose.
Yeah. Which is, I don't know if it's smart. It's really only smart if you're like, hey, we can win a bunch of Super Bowls, but it's not smart unless you believe that you can win a bunch of Super Bowls.
While I agree with you, I also think there's a part of that you have to be reasonable in the fact that Patrick Mahomes is, when you really look at it, 45 million is more than enough. There is Patrick Mahomes. 45 million is more than enough for Patrick Mahomes. And
Take
when
care
you really
of your
look
family,
at it,
your kids type of money.
and you want to win, then yeah, I think that makes complete sense. Everyone
plus
else,
the
it's
sponsorships.
Everything else is off the charts wild. On today's show, we compared Trevor Lawrence and Blake Bortles to see if Trevor Lawrence's contract was really worth it. Comment down below if you agree with our takes or disagree. If your comment's good enough, it'll make the cut for next week's show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Devin. That's Zane. This is Buffet Sports. It's all you can eat. Ciao.
Ciao.